coming to the party. All right, guys. So I didn't include this on camera because I soaked my chicken overnight, but I used the brine. I used salt, sugar, orange slices, and peppercorns. And I'll leave how I use the ingredients that I use at the bottom and the exact measurements for how many pieces I have. Of course, you want to do your brine contingent on how many pieces you have. And I'm just taking a little fat off that leg that I left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this brine out, and we're going to get to seasoning our chicken. So what you want to do now is you want to begin to get as much moisture as you can. I drained it out, but it's still moisture in the chicken, of course, because it's set in water. So I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to get as much water as I can at the bottom. So what I'm going to start off first in terms of seasoning, now that I got my chicken dry, is I'm just adding some garlic powder. And I like to add mine in on both sides. Garlic powder is not salty, so I like to go liberal just because I like my stuff garlicky. So next, I'm going to add in some sazon. Sazon is just a seasoning mix. It's kind of earthy and it's really good. I love sazon on my chicken. And I will be putting this on both sides. Now I'm going to add in some celery salt. And you don't want to go too liberal with celery salt because it's like really salty. Next, I'm going to add in some thyme leaves just because I don't have my ground thyme. And thyme leaves will do since I'm not frying it. Don't have to worry about the herbs burning in the oil. I'm also going to hit it with a little ground mustard just because I like the tanginess. And don't worry, I'm going to get in there and mix this stuff up. Here's my ground mustard. I'm also going to hit it with a little bit of thyme. I love thyme on my fried chicken. Even though this is baked fried chicken, I like it on there because thyme just adds I mean, not thyme. I said thyme, y'all. I'm sorry. I meant turmeric. I'm adding turmeric. So I mix those two up all the time. And then lastly, I'm going to add in some paprika. Honestly, it's just for color. Some people use smoked paprika. I don't really care for smoked paprika on my chicken, fried chicken per se. I mean, if it's on the grill, then that's a little better. All right. So now that we have our chicken mixed up, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of hot sauce because that's what I do when I fry chicken anyway. So I want this to be as closest to my fried chicken as I can get it in terms of flavor. So I'm going to hit it with some Texas Pete. And here goes that Texas Pete. And don't worry, this doesn't make your chicken spicy. A lot of people's like, oh, I can't have that. Well, fear not. Texas Pete is here. This is more of a vinegary based hot sauce for those of you who've never had it. So I'm actually going to let this chicken sit in the fridge for a good hour. So that way those seasons can soak in there. All right, so I'm getting ready to start out with some flour. And I'm putting a little bit more than what I need in here. So I'm probably say about 2.5 cups. Because I'm going to use about a 1/2 cup to mix in with my egg wash. And I'll get to that in just a second. So I'm going to crack 2 eggs. Because I believe that's all I'm going to need is 2 cracked eggs. If you need more, like if you're making more chicken, please feel free to use more than this. And I'm going to give this a nice little whisk. And this is where I'm going to begin to add some of my flour in here. You don't want to add it all in at one time. I just want a nice batter to pour over my chicken. So I'm going to start out with 1/3 cup. And I am going to add a little water in here as well. So that way we can smooth this batter out. So I'm going to add probably about a 1/3 cup of water. There we go. That's the batter we're looking for. So I'm going to add some of that sazon. Because this is not really salty. It's more earthy. So I'm going to give it about a tablespoon of it. I'm going to also give it some onion powder. I don't think I put onion powder right on the chicken, but it's okay. Because we have it in here now. Yeah, baby. And this is my onion powder. I love my garlic powder. I love my garlic powder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a nice little mix. And this is going to be our dry dredge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out by spraying some olive oil. And if you don't have the spray, don't worry. Just, you know, take a paper towel and wipe it on there. And if you don't have a pan that separates, you might want to make sure that you use a pan and either put some parchment paper or foil. And I do have my oven set to 400. So I'm going to start by dredging our chicken. And I'm going to let this sit out for a minute. So just want to make sure you get it in there. And this is why it's important to make sure your chicken is evenly coated. And you want to shake off the excess. And you just want to lay it on your sheet. And I did put a piece of parchment paper at the bottom of it, just so I can catch some of that excess flour. So now that we have it battered and it's been sitting for a while, I'm going to give it a nice spray with that olive oil, just so that way that whiteness can go away. So now that we've got our, and you know, I have a couple of white spots, and it's okay because when the juices start to run, it will run and it'll take care of that white spot. And then I'll have to flip it anyway, halfway between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out and I'm going to put it in the oven on 400 for about 20-25 minutes. And then I'm going to flip it and I'm going to come back. So we'll see what the results are looking like. All right, guys. This is what the chicken looks like. It looks pretty good. I've never done it with the double batter the way I did it this time. But you know what? It's all good. It looks really, really, really tasty. Now we're going to give this a bite. We're going to give it a taste test. Me and my little Cammy Cam. I'm supposed to say a grace, Cammy. Let's say a grace. Oh man. So y'all, I made some green beans and some macaroni with the chicken. So we getting ready to start tasting. The chicken is still hot. I am putting hot sauce and some honey on it, because that's how I roll. Ain't that right, Cammy? Yeah, he ready to eat. You see it on there? Cam, tell him what you eating.
Macaroni cheese.
Is the chicken and macaroni and cheese good? It's hot.
Hot. It's really hot. I know it's hot. It's hot. I do. No macaroni is hot.
I got my water right here, y'all. That cold water hit different when you get done cooking. Show me your water bottle. It's a baby Coda's water bottle. And he loves it. He drinks out of it all the time, y'all. It's good, right, Cammy?
Right.
Oh, it's hot and it's juicy. Honestly, I think the next time I make it though, I'll probably just use flour and egg, because I didn't realize that double coating, it took a lot longer to cook, y'all.
It's so good.
But it still turned out crispy. I had to crank it up for like the last 10 minutes. But it's worth it. And it's good. But like I said, no double coating. I mean, you gotta have something to put on it. I think I've seen people put flour, the egg wash, then flour. I think that's good for frying, but not for bacon. I mean, unless you cook it at a high temperature. But this is bomb. I know my setup is ghetto fabulous. It is what it is. I just wanted y'all to be able to see it. Y'all see how it smoke? Is it hot, Cammy?
Guys, it be hot in a second. It's good. Price time.
For real?
Real.
Tell them how Maggie, your doggy, was getting on your nerves earlier. Maggie, go. Go. She's trying to get food right now, y'all. Tell them what you told me. Was Maggie getting on your nerves?
Not getting nerves.
What she do? What did Maggie do, Cammy?
He noticed and slowed down it all time.
She did.
Yeah. I feel thinking anyway. One more.
You're absolutely right, Camden.
It got a white go in. How it took the highly on it.
Yeah, that's true. This is green beans, y'all.
I'm not getting ready.
The macaroni is so good too.
Yeah.
It's a really good alternative if you are trying to cut back with weight. It's a really good alternative in terms of, not immersing it in oil or whatever. And it's good. It's flavorful. I mean, it tastes like fried chicken.
Is that a fried chicken?
I mean, he eating it. I'm talking about you. He talking to his daddy, y'all. His daddy over there eating by himself. Hey, Dad.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Cam.
You want to eat food?
Yeah, I'm eating food.
It's far away.
All right, well, I had to give you guys what you want, what you need in your life. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
All right, y'all, I'm going to read you the quote, and it says as follows. You make your life hard by always being in your head. Life is simple. Get out of your head and get into the moment. And that could never be further from the truth. Get out of your head and get into the moment. So if you're in your head, you have to understand that your thoughts does not serve you well if they are negative. It's just in your head. You can get out of that thinking. It's called stinking thinking. You can't control what comes in your mind, but you can control it once it's in there. So therefore, do your best to try to give yourself some positive self-talk. If you hear a negative thought, ask yourself if you have evidence for that negative thought. If you don't have any evidence that you're a failure, that you're a loser, or that you're not good enough, then you can take that thought out of rotation. You can think positive thoughts. You can be happy. And I love you all, and I want you guys to continue to love out loud, continue to be positive towards yourself and towards others. And until next time, peace out. You gonna say peace out?
Pizza.
Say thank you for coming.
Did you call you party?
Thank you for coming to the party. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
tears.